Okay. Um, well, welcome everyone to Unity Spiritual Center in Lower Lake. Okay, we want to make sure that you mute your sound. So today, Reverend Angelika Schafer, an ordained interfaith minister serving various spiritual centers worldwide through her inspirational talks and music, is with us. We are honored to have her with us this morning to begin our service with the opening prayer. Thank you, Angelika. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I picked the Lord's Prayer in the original language, Aramaic, and I will share with you the translation directly from the Aramaic, which is a very intuitive, multifaceted language. And then I will sing it in Aramaic. So this will be both the opening prayer and the song. Breathing life in all, origin of the shimmering sound. You shine in us and around us, and even the darkness glows when we remember. Help us draw a holy breath in which we feel only you, and may your sound ring in us and purify us. May your counsel rule our lives and make our intentions clear for the common good of creation. May the wish of our heart unify heaven and earth through our harmony. From you comes the all-effective will, the living strength to act, the song that beautifies everything and which renews itself from age to age. Truly power to these statements. May they be the ground out of which all my actions grow. Abundaba Shamaya, Abundaba Shamaya, Nefkada Shema, Nefkada Shema, Ti Emalkuta. Everybody, please mute yourselves. There is a lot of noise in the background, so please, everybody, mute. Stella and administrator and Barbara, because it's very distracting when there's so much noise. Thank you. Abunda Bashamaya, Abunda Bashamaya, Nechkada Shema, Nechkada Shema, Tite Malkuta, Tite Malkuta, Nechwet Zevianach Aikana, Du Bashamaya Avraham, Havlam Lachma, Du Sun Kanan Yaumana, Havlam Lachma, Du Sun Kanan Yaumana. Mashbukhla Hahubin Wachtahin I kana Jafrana Shwoken Luchaya Bin Wila Tachlan Lernes Yuna Ela Patsan Min Bisha Wila Tachlan Lernes Yuna Ela Patsan Min Bisha Miturilahi Malkuta Wachila Wachtesh Bukta Lualam Almina Me Lualam Almina Me Lualam Almina Me Lualam Almina Me.
Thank you. Thank you. That was wonderful, wonderful. I'm still vibrating with it. Thank you so much. I'd like to continue the service with reading our invocation affirmation. This is who we are. There is only one presence and one power active in my life, God, the good, omnipotent. There is only one presence and one power active in Unity Clear Lake Center, God, the good, omnipotent. Finally, there is only one presence and one power active in our world, God, the good, omnipotent. The basics of unity are the 5 basic ideas. The first, God is absolute good, everywhere present. Human beings have a spark of divine spirit within them, the Christ consciousness within. Therefore, they are inherently good. Human beings create their experience by the activity of their thinking. Thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. And fourth, prayer is the process that affirms our connection with God mind and brings forth wisdom, healing, and everything good. But finally, knowing and understanding universal laws, also called truth, are not enough. A person must also live the truth that he or she knows. And now, Reverend Angelika is going to share with us everything is a spiritual teacher. Thank you, Reverend Angelika.
Thank you, Barbara, and thank you to the community for inviting me to be with you. So I want to start out with a chant that I compose, but it's not composing, it's more receiving. I receive the songs, and this one came in 2018 at a healing retreat, and I call it Bloom. And it's very simple to learn, and the lines repeat, so I keep muted, but just repeat the lines after me. It's very, very joyful, and it's about opening the heart and letting love embrace us. And Tara, Om Tari, Tuttari, Tude Sohang, is a mantra that invokes the divine feminine, the goddess of compassion. She was actually born from a tear of a great sage, Avalokiteshvara. And when he cried, when he saw the suffering of this world, he cried, and one of his tears gave birth to Tara. So blossom this heart into its fullest fragrance. Bloom, bloom, blossom this heart into its fullest fragrance. In love's embrace, in love's embrace, in love's embrace, in love's embrace. Om tari tutari ture soham. 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 Tari tutari ture soham. Ture soham. And now I would like to share with you a beautiful writing from Jeff Foster. He's a spiritual teacher, but he has such authenticity. I really enjoy his sharing. He says, maybe this is what we all long for, a deep self-love, which is really the love of life, of God itself. It's so easy to forget the ground of being and get caught up in the mind with all its seeking and struggle and problems. You are the one I wake with every morning, the one I breathe with, the one whose every heartbeat I feel as my own. You are the one I walk with, the one I speak and sing with, the one who stays with me through every waking moment of every sacred day. You are the one I get sick with, the one I cry with, the one whose anger and joy and doubt surges through me like fire. You are the one I will die with, the one whose arms I shall return to. You are the one I see in every face, shining through every pair of eyes, shimmering through the silences, the trails of dust and the spaces in the canopy. You are my constant companion, my home, my reason, my joy, my life. We cannot be divided. We cannot be two. And even one is too far for us. I sing this song to myself, disappearing into the song, and I am never alone. So when I speak or sing, it's not ever for entertainment, and it certainly isn't just for the mind. It's not candy for the mind. It's really to remember who we are. And so when we talk about everything as a spiritual teacher, actually everything is a teacher to help us remember what is already there. So it's not like we have to learn something new. We just have to learn how to best remember what we already are, given the depth and thoroughness of the programming that we have received to perceive what we are not. This is really important. So again, when when I present or sing or talk, it's really about a tradition. And sometimes, the words are just as powerful as the songs. But I want to share with you a chant in Sanskrit, an ancient language that might be the root of most languages, that has a great healing power. And these words are for releasing fear, for releasing doubt. The translation is invoking supreme peace. I surrender the quality of fear to its source in the higher and formless universal mind. Salutations. So you just let the frequency of this chant take it in. It's very powerful. Shanti prashanti sarva bhaya upashamani swaha. 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 Upashamani swaha. So even though, like I said, I will be speaking words, I would like to invite you to listen, not so much with your head, but with your heart right here. And just to double check real quick, can everybody hear me okay? It's loud enough? Just give me a thumbs up. Okay. You're the only one I can see, Barbara. So, okay. Good. Great. All right. Thank you, Stella. Okay. So I want to share something else by Jeff Foster, which is it's very precious. He says, everything is a spiritual teacher. The cat, the carpet, a chair, a tree, a mountain, the parent with dementia, heartache, joy, my own, yours, the man sleeping on the pavement, the breathtaking night sky. It is all a teacher, and I am just a mouthpiece, as we all are. I am just a friend, sharing my heart. I am just a bird singing my song. I quit as a spiritual teacher. I quit as any kind of authority, and I became a real human being, authentic, embodied, honest, and true. In the temple of the ordinary, there I found my true peace and enlightenment. In the sanctuary of the mundane, in the holy heart of the uncovered moment. So you might see me take some pauses in between the words, and that is just to take it in more, to let that land in us, in our hearts, because there's a lot of stuff in what I'm going to share with you. So Jeff also said, we never rehearsed this dance. We are a mess. We tremble and go out of tune sometimes and forget our lines and step on each other's toes. But it is our sacred dance. So, what is the goal? What is the goal of life? I'm sure most of you have asked yourself that or contemplated this question. Or if not, maybe just think about it for a moment. Imagine for me, it would be to feel completely confident about our inner well being, and nothing in our life or in this world's drama could shake us. How would it feel to relax into life and trust that it is unfolding exactly as it needs to? Let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Because the breath brings us right here in this moment. It can only be here in this moment, each breath. And how would life be if we could more easily remember our true nature and origin, to remain steady, to master our energy, to clear our minds, to choose our focus? All this regardless of outer circumstances. What if that was now possible for us? So, if life is teaching us to remember, then what is it that we learn to remember and to explore here? Just contemplate for a moment what lessons or explorations has your life journey brought you since you arrived here on earth, or even in the last day, even in the last week. Things are moving so fast and so intensely right now. There is a lot of stuff to integrate and to work with, right? And is it possible that we choose the exact challenges in our lives to explore how to overcome them? And then that data feeds back to the divine source to get to know itself. And what if all of our experiences, no matter how they are, good, bad, painful, joyful, they're all feeding into the divine data bank, and they're all equally important? They're all equally as precious and important than any other. We learned in this kind of a false system, the upside down worlds that we grew up with, the false programming, to go after everything outside instead of discovering the treasure that we already are inside of us. But I believe we're definitely learning now very quickly to remember who we truly are. Because that is what matters. At least to me, I'm passionate about that. Greater liberation from the programming, from all the things I used to think I am or was, to remembering who I am. So many things changed and many things continue to change. And right now, that is a very big theme on Earth is change. It always was. This world is not meant to be steady or lasting. It's just like the holodeck on the Starship Enterprise. It's actually a projection to help us go on these adventures, to go through the challenges that our soul picked for this particular lifetime, to explore how to overcome them. So remembering that there is nothing wrong with any of the experiences is a very important thing. I used to think and feel that when things went bad or when I was in pain or, had challenges, that it was some kind of a punishment or that life was going wrong in some way. Now I know better. Now I've learned to actually embrace them as those times when I evolve the most towards my true being. So in retrospect, I've been here for 71 years on this planet. I look at all the challenges in my life and I look how each one of them has helped me to grow. And often I argued with life. And I highly recommend not to do that because it really doesn't work. But to be with what is internally, to meet it and not accept it. You don't have to accept the unacceptable, but to allow yourself to feel like you feel, to be in the experience that you are in, to allow life to flow as it wants to, as it's doing, like this river that we cannot stop. We cannot stop it with any dam that we build, with any defenses that we build around our heart to protect ourselves from further pain. We cannot stem this river. It will flow whether we resist it or not. So I highly recommend to jump into it with curiosity, with saying yes to it, whatever it is. I just lost a friend, a very dear friend and client of mine. And, on the human level, it looks like loss. And so I was walking with kind of a broken heart at the river here and just contemplating about that heartache, like that uniqueness that this being has expressed will never ever be like that again on earth in this form. And then I contemplated further, just being with the pain, being open to it, to willing to actually feel it without resistance. What came to me was each step that I'm taking in this beautiful nature, each breath that I'm taking, each bird I hear, each plant I see, this communion with life right now expressed in this physical form is also each moment never will come back the way it's just been. So each moment is actually equally precious, just like this, the expression of this friend of mine is every one of us is incredibly precious, like a flower, a unique snowflake, a unique flower in the divine garden. It will never come back this way. So this exploration is important and it is precious. It's very precious to the divine. The divine sees no hierarchy, no person being better than another, no life experience being any more valuable than the other, even if it's a life of great sorrow or a life of even criminals. Even that, in the greater picture, our little minds cannot get this. There is no judgment. There is no judgment of anything. And so, all of us, I mean, I speak for myself, I used to have a lot of criticism of myself, especially. And I grew up in Germany, a very critical culture. And I dropped that. I have to drop it. So I've become much more loving because every cell of the billions of cells in our body, they spy on our thoughts. They spy on the messages we give. So I have a very wonderful, functioning, great body, and I never liked it. I was giving it very negative messages. Now I love it. Now that it's getting older, I finally learned to love it and appreciate it how it is. And it's the same with, for example, my parents, they've passed on, but they went through the war in Germany and it was a really hard life. So there was a lot of pain and violence and all that. And I used to focus on that, on the violence and the pain, because I felt I was drowning as a child in that. But now I know, I see only how precious this gift of life is that my parents have given me. And I thank them every single day. This life is so precious because in this life, I am waking up to who I truly am. And to have that opportunity is beyond precious, beyond amazing. So what a gift they gave me. And I also see how strong they are, how strong they were to survive a war and incredible, torture even in their families. And they had none of the tools that we have or I have. they had none of this inspiration and assistance and help. And so they just survived, and they still gave everything they had and everything they could give. So I stand on their shoulders. No matter what the violence or the dysfunction has been, it doesn't matter. It matters only what kind of a daughter do I want to be. And to heal the relationship with our parents is absolutely fundamental to relating properly to our true divine nature and to source. Because our parents were the very first model of the divine. So, I could go on for a long, long time sharing all the principles that I've embodied lately. So it's not just a head learning. I used to know things and recognize them in my head, but I couldn't quite like feel them yet or have it be a tangible experience. But lately that all this wisdom has come online as a true tangible experience, even in the body. So that's one of the goals of this life, is that we're not just learning things in our heads and all these nice spiritual teachings. No, we have to cultivate a direct, tangible connection to our own source. And there is a beautiful book that I can recommend by R.J. Spina, Spina, and it's called Supercharged Self-Healing. And in that book, he shares a lot of methods on how to constantly get back to our true nature. How to, and what it is really a book to practice. It's not a book to read for entertainment, but a book to work with. And practicing in each moment is very, very important. So it's about remembering to practice the truth, because how many millions or billions of times we have repeated detrimental thoughts, negative thoughts, critical thoughts, judgmental thoughts. How many times we have felt bad about ourselves and given ourselves a hard time for making mistakes here. But if we knew how deep this negative programming has been, since we came to Earth, we were already imprinted in the womb of our mothers, because the consciousness of the mother, all that she experienced, is in our consciousness. If we knew how detrimental and how deep this negative programming has been on every level, you would pat yourself on the back and say, well done, child, because you are working your way through it like a little tiny seed out of the dark, gloomy soil, finally just getting out to the light, making its way out to the light, to the truth, to the sun. So there is nothing wrong with you or me or any of us. There is only a discovery of what is false and what is true. And because the programming has been so well rehearsed and for such a long time, it is super important to practice dismantling the programming. So it is not about learning new things. It's actually dismantling all the stuff, the layers, the crap that has been piled onto our true, tender, beautiful being, which lives in the heart. It's not in the little hamster head that goes around in circles. We cannot figure it out here. It's right here. So just take a breath and just focus on that heart center. Just put your awareness there. Because where we put our awareness, that always grows. Which brings me to another point. If we put the awareness on all the things that are wrong in this world, that's what grows. And if I get upset about, for example, politics or the catastrophes or anything in this outer world that's going on right now, then I give my precious life force and energy to the problem. The problem and the solution are in the same place. And when I focus on the truth, on the solution, yes, I have compassion. I don't ignore what's going on. I see it. but I allow for a greater possibility that this might be necessary to dismantle all that is false, that has been so well encrusted and so well established in this world and in us. What we see in this world is a collective projection of our beliefs. That's all it is. So to fix it from the outside and get upset about it and think that voting for this or for that is going to bring a solution, no, it won't. It just won't. We can't fix it from the outside. It can only be fixed in our own hearts. If we right now really connected without a shadow of a doubt with who we truly are, we would change the world. You know, in Course in Miracles, it talks about the real world is just beneath that world that we have projected and we see. And I've recently had these experiences of, gosh, you know, this world, the way it is, it appears right now, it can't be true because it's upside down. It goes against the divine nature. Everything that's weird and twisted is getting to be, you know, furthered and promoted, and everything that's really true is trying to be squelched. It can't be real. And I realized, oh my goodness, it is really a collective projection. And who knows, maybe somebody wanted it this way. I don't know. And I don't care about what I care about is to change it in myself. And when I can see what is true in myself and in others and in the world, I know I'm changing it. I'm changing that collective projection. And I've been saying for quite a while now, no, this is not my world. The world that is all upset and upside down and weird and troubled is not my world. It is not. I am choosing a different timeline, a different paradigm. So I can tell you a little story. I was recently in San Diego assisting at a healing event, and I used to have real trouble driving in big cities. You know, I live out in the forest and nature, and I only come out when I do programs. So coming to the city is has been challenging. But I've been working with a method called cognimovement that helps our nervous system to release these stressors and all these programmings. And it's helped me a great deal. So I noticed I wasn't at all perturbed about the traffic or the airplanes overhead that were landing and so close we could almost touch them. And I drove up to Los Angeles to stay the night with a friend and give a Sunday service the next morning on Zoom. But the traffic was so heavy. I was already in Los Angeles, and all of a sudden there was a loud crash, and my car was hit from the side, from the right side, because I was in the left lane, and I could see the driver just freaking out. And I motioned to get over, but I couldn't get over. It was wait, my car was still working. The traffic was so thick I couldn't get over to the right side. And then just this peace came, and I was already in a really, really good frequency, in a very high vibration. Even before this happened, I just decided, okay, just let it go. It's gonna be okay. Just keep driving. It's gonna be okay. And so my friend is in a very difficult place to find in the Hollywood Hills up some canyon. I always get lost. And so I decided instead of being upset about things, I'll just stop at this flower shop that I saw and I bought her some flowers. I still didn't have the courage to look at my car. When I got to her place, I looked at my car and there was no damage. And mind you, it's a little Prius, it's a little tin box. So according to the loudness of the crash, there should have been a huge dent or something. But no, there wasn't. So I believe, you know, you can explain it however, you know, the mind can't explain it. But it's either the angels fixed it along the way or I jumped timeline. And I maybe both. But I believe that in that high frequency that I was vibrating at, that timeline of accidents and destruction couldn't happen. So it's like it moved me to another timeline. It's really fascinating, you know, about the Mandela effect, that some people remember Mandela dying in prison and others remember him becoming the president of South Africa and doing so much good. And both factions are completely convinced that that's what happened. But I believe that we are experiencing different timelines right now, according to our choice, not just sort of a global choice, but the choice in each moment. So that's why I'm saying practice, practice, practice. Being present, practice being very aware and astute. We can't afford negative self talk anymore. We can't afford judgments anymore. Everything is so fast now manifesting. So you got to come to absolute unconditional love. We need to learn creator love. We need to learn to love ourselves as Source loves us, as God loves us. Because we are not an experiment that has gone wrong. Not at all. We've just been misprogrammed. We just need to be willing to dismantle that programming, to remember who we truly are. And it's a thing of the heart. You know, it's this is where that grows, not by figuring it out in the head. So we are not as limited as we thought we were. And where we put our energy really does, where we put our attention really does enhance the experience we're having wherever we're focusing. Yeah, so it's so important to refocus and to remember that we're misfocusing. You know, to remember, oh, I just had a very negative thought. I don't want to do that anymore. To remember. And the other thing is through this modality that I've become certified in, I learned that I can meet the intensity of any emotion without fear. And as I meet it fully, it actually turns into a kind of joy, a kind of inner confidence, an inner peace. And I'm just noticing it's 11:11. I see this all the time. I see it as a little, a little message from the angels. Yes, you are on track. It's all right. It's all good. It's very sweet. So I learned that to trust more and to let go more, to love and live more fully in this very moment. And life taught me that every thought, word, and action has an effect on the fabric of life, the collective web. It is a kind of an internet. So life has brought me to be more present here in this breath. And the most important continuing exploration is what is true, what is real, what is love in an upside down world that is everything unnatural being normalized. I would like to normalize the truth, the habits that bring me closer into the very heart of God, existence, life, and source. So the question is, do we feel worthy enough to accept our greatest heart's desire, the gift that all the universe and existence itself, God, wants to give to us? And would we be overjoyed if we could accept it? So, how much do we allow of a new kind of love, of the real kind of love, a radical love? How much do we allow that love to come to us? Because it's like the sun, it's always offered. And all that is in the way are the clouds that are in our minds that are doubting and full of negative programs. That's all it is. It's not our fault. We were simply programmed. We're innocent little beings that were programmed, just like a computer. Once you put a virus on it, it just runs and it bogs everything down. So we can change it. We really can. So, for example, just contemplate for a moment. If you had just come to this planet without a past or a future, What if you could relax completely and allow life to unfold the way it needs to? Let go, release everything that has come before this moment. What if you could love this temporary experience of seeming limitation in dense physical form just as much as the light filled, eternal, unchanging reality of who you are, where you came from, and will return to? What if you could bring this light, love essence that you are right here to this very moment and replace the longing for home with being home right here, right now? Replace the longing for home with allowing yourself to be here, right now, with this breath. Let's take in a breath. What if the peace that we long for is to be found only here? There is no outer world to change. It's only here. It's not in seeking it, it's in being it here, now. And we can, totally. So I will share a couple of songs because I find that music is so powerful to bring a frequency of home to our being. Father of the mountains, shepherd of the sea, author of the questions that are hidden in me, a voice out on the water, a whisper in the trees, the longing to be free. Awake, my soul, awake, my soul. Like a river, you will flow. Like a river, you will flow. Awake, my soul, awake, my soul. Like a river, you will flow. Like a river, you will flow. I see you in the sunlight. I feel you in the breeze. I hear you in the silence, in the mystery. So open up my heart now. I'm longing to be free. Teach me to receive. Awake, my soul. Awake, my soul. Like a river, you will flow. Like a river, you will flow. Awake, my soul. Awake, my soul. Like a river, you will flow. Like a river, you will flow. And I will share another song that is one of my own songs. It's called Through the Open Door. And it's an invitation for all my friends, which you are now a part of that circle of friends. Walk with me through the open door. Something now is calling us home, stronger than ever before. Walk with me through the open door. Now we can walk each other home and follow the music of our soul. Were we ever really lost? Or was that just a dream? Perhaps it's up to us. What we decide is real. Are we ready to let go of all we think we know? Of everything we thought and ways that we were taught. Walk with me through the open door. Something now is calling us home, stronger than ever before. Walk with me through the open door. Now we can walk each other home and follow the music of our soul. It takes just what it takes for hearts and minds to change. We got a little lost to find our way again. And anyone who wants can now be really free. Opportunity is here, it's speaking loud and clear. It is time now. It is time to come home right now. It is time now. It is time to be home right here. Right here. Right here. Barbara, you're still muted. So if you would like to speak, just unmute.
Unmute. Am I unmuted?
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Angelika, I mean, for myself, I cannot believe the things that I feel like I have been revealed to me. You are a beautiful soul, that's for sure. And you came at just the right time.
Thank you.
In my journey. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And as you said an hour ago, no, was it? I don't know. Take a deep breath and we shall move forward here with our announcements. All right. Just to let you know what's on the calendar for the rest of the month, we have at church next week. Patricia Holler will be there. My will, God's will. And that is a service where we invite you to please come, stay for fellowship, and it's a potluck, and we just enjoy each other's company greatly. So hope to see you at church next Sunday. And then on October the 27th, Reverend Marjorie Brock from Sacramento, Things That Go Bump in the Night. And of course, we're getting very close to Halloween at that time. So I love her title. I love her. She and her husband's talks. They're fabulous. And we are blessed with Bill Barrow's music at that service. So that's the Zoom one. So the other part of this, of course, is the donations. And just to say that how much we appreciate donations, uh, greatly appreciate any donation. So just mail to P.O. Box 755 in Lower Lake 95457. P.O. Box 755 Lower Lake 95457. Annika will send her Angelika. I'm sorry. Angelika is going to sing a closing song, and then we'll have a little bit of a chat afterwards. Okay, Angelika.
So I picked a song by Pia, which is a chant, and it's called "Blessed We Are." Blessed we are to dance on this ground, the rhythm of saints, to carry the sound. We hold a prayer for the earth, for the ones yet to come. May you walk in beauty and remember your song. Blessed we are to dance on this ground, the rhythm of saints, to carry the sound. We hold a prayer for the earth, for the ones yet to come. May we walk in beauty and remember our song. Remember why you came here. Remember life is sacred. Remember why you came here. Remember life is sacred. Blessed we are to dance on this ground, the rhythm of saints, to carry the sound. We hold a prayer for the earth, for the ones yet to come. May we walk in beauty and remember our song. And remember our song. And remember our song.